Darnell, this is Dan Glines. I had the privilege of coaching you here at San Jose State. It was only 1 year, but it was a super year. Stan Morrison told me before your freshman year that he thought we were going to be fortunate enough to get a great player. Well, he was right on. You were a great player and you were a super person. You should be congratulated on this retirement this evening of your jersey. It's an honor well deserved. When I met you, it was obvious that you were a very special person, in addition to being an outstanding basketball player. I can remember the first we practiced, got ready to play, and we went up and scrimmaged Stanford. And that was the first time where I saw what you could really do when you got excited about playing in a game. You may not remember it, but I'll never forget it. Stanford came down in the scrimmage on a fast break, and you went up so high in the air and blocked a shot that the officials called it goaltending because they hadn't seen anything like that before. And this was the start of a tremendous career that you had here at San Jose State. The culmination of our success that season was probably the game against Santa Clara, where as underdogs, and they had beaten us pretty good the first time around. We were the visiting team in the arena, and if you probably recall, I've never forgotten it, that we went into overtime and we beat the Broncos that time. They were the number 2 team in the nation, and they had not lost a game that season. But you were instrumental in that win, and you've just gone on to great things since then. You've played one varsity year here at San Jose State, and then you went into the service. At the end of your 2 years of service, Bob Ferrick, who was working for the Warriors at that time, told me that there was no way that San Jose State was ever going to get this player back, that the pros all knew about him and he was going to be drafted. Well, you were drafted all right, the number 1 choice of Indiana and of San Francisco. Again, congratulations, and it's an honor. It was a privilege to coach you, and I have followed you throughout your career as a player for Indianapolis and for San Francisco.
Well, this is an opportunity for me, Fran Dunphy from Temple University now. Back in 1971, I was a teammate of Darnell Hillman, and I was proud to be a teammate of his. I think he was a fabulous basketball player. More importantly, he was a great guy, and somebody who I admired, because I was new to the group, and he took me under his wing and allowed me to play on that basketball team, and I had a great time doing it. We had great teammates, and that's what I marvel at most often, is how great these players are, and yet the kind of people that they are is even better. And Darnell Hillman certainly was one of those kinds of guys who never took himself too seriously. It was always about the team, and somebody who you could count on it to help you in any given set of circumstances. One thing, I haven't seen him in quite some time. I'd love to see what his hairdo looks like at this point. He had a big 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo for an afro back in the day. It was his trademark, and something that I admired, again, just how meticulous he was in everything that he did. And great guy, great player, and somebody I would love to see again. But congratulations on retiring your jersey at San Jose State University, and I'm sure it's well deserved, and love to be there with you. So good luck and all the very best. Thanks.
Darnell, congratulations on having your jersey retired at San Jose State. Only the 3rd player to ever have that done, and I'm so happy for you. It was an honor to be your teammate in the early 70s. I carried your bags, and it was a pleasure to do that. An officer carrying an enlisted guy's bags, a West Pointer, but you were a great player for the United States Armed Forces, for the Army team and for Armed Forces. I can remember being in the Middle East in Tehran and going through warm-ups on an outside court during the CISM games, the military Olympics, and you having your hand above the box and laying balls in, and everyone in the set going, oh, oh. And in some way, I thought when I went in for a layup, they were saying that about me. So you made me feel a lot better. But you were a tremendous teammate, tremendous personality. And I remember my first daughter, Debbie, who's now 41. We were out at the Presidio, and you met her. She was only a few months old, and you held her in your hand. And I should say your hand because it's that big. And I couldn't see her. I could not see her. You know, just for the people in the audience, just put up your hands, man. I mean, unbelievable. And when you put up your hands, I know your beautiful smile will come out. And that's who you were, that's who you are, and congratulations. I'm glad that I had the honor of being your friend.
McNeil, and that's what Darnell Hillman has to shoot at now. $15,000 on the line. Darnell Hillman behind the head on a reverse. They call him Dr. Duncan, Indiana, from San Jose State, 6'9", 215-pound Darnell Hillman. All of it. All of it. Darnell is now 3 for 3. He's shooting at 35.5, and Larry McNeil made all 5 of his attempts. Well, did he do it? Here is the final attempt now from straightaway down the middle. Darnell Hillman, a big effort, shooting at Larry McNeil's very fine score of 35.5. And we'll watch Darnell now in slow motion. Way up and down. That was his second attempt. A double clutch, and Darnell Hillman. Here he comes on a third attempt. They're waiting at style point breakdown. All right, let's see what the judges score on Darnell Hillman. 8-5, 9-5, and 9. So Darnell Hillman edges out Larry McNeil for the $15,000 first prize. Now we're going to meet our champion and our runner-up right now. Darnell? We had some tough people to beat, Darnell, along the way. You beat Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Richard Washington, among others. Moses Malone, congratulations.
Thank you, Don. I'd just like to say thank you to my family for standing behind me and helping me get through this little ordeal. I had a little work to do, and I went out and did it. I'm happy about it.
You got some money coming in the mail. Congratulations, Darnell.
All right, thank you.
Darnell Hillman. Now let's go to Brent Musburger.
Don, tell Darnell to hold up. I got Julia serving. I want the winner. Rick, you and Steve Jones get some money, and let's get the doctor out there against Darnell. We'll be back.
Congratulations, Darnell. I know this is a big night for you and well-deserved. You know, I still look back, you were a very integral part of probably, in my mind, and I've seen them all, the best Pacer team in 1973 that's ever been. And you were big on that. But more than that, I think it was that race that you had with Dr. J, Julius Erving, for the biggest afro in the league. And I remember one day you had a bad practice, And I jumped all over you and I said, one more practice like that. And I said, you're going to get a haircut. And it scared you to death. But in training camp that year out at Indiana Central, all the guys got together and wanted to know who was the fastest, you or George McGinnis. And of course, you'd been a track man at San Jose State. So we lined it up. Everybody in training camp went outside. And Davy Craig got a starter's gun and got down there in the blocks, and we were all standing at the finish line waiting for the race. And all your guys had bets amongst each other. And I can remember Davy cracked that gun, and you came thundering down. It was like a herd of cattle thundering down that track because you were in basketball shoes. And it was so close that we had to call it. And I called it a draw. And nobody lost any money. But the big thing was, you and George ran that 100-yard dash in 10-4 in basketball shoes. That's the kind of speed that you had. So again, Dar, you know how much I love you. And thanks for the great years that we had together.